Okay, Yoda, I started recording. Are you ready for this?
Which one? Oh, do tell it hard, but let's do it.
Okay, so we're gonna start with the cockpit prep, and that's done by the pilot flying, and today that will be me. So I'm gonna call out and verbalize all the actions I do, even though they in real life they do them mostly silent. Since we can't see each other's hands, we think it's a good idea to actually say out loud what it is you're doing, right?
Yeah, confirm.
Yep. So I'll start with battery 1. And there's the second ding. So battery 2. Did you have them on?
Yep. Do you
Yep.
want me to confirm as you're doing them? I can see them. Yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, unless something isn't working, I guess you can just speak up if it isn't working.
Yeah. If I
Yep.
can't see something happening, I'll let you know.
Yep. And I'm pushing the external power. I am going to go over to the ADIRs and select 1, 2, and 3.
And can I just confirm that this would normally be 132?
No, because as you see, the left one is IRS 1. The most to the right is actually number 2, and the one in the middle is labeled number 3.
I thought the start procedure was 132.
No, 1, 2, 3. But they're actually, number 1 is to the left, number 3 is in the middle, and number 2 is to the right.
I thought that's why they were in that order, 1, 3, and 2. Anyway, that was their start procedure for.
Yeah, so you do 1, 2, and then 3.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, and I'll go down to the crew supply, set that to on. The rest looks nice. I'm going to go up to the fuel pumps.
Hang on a second.
Yep,
Crew supply. That's right. Okay. Yeah. Go on.
it worked.
Did we cockpit like park and brake and the meter? We missed them, didn't we?
Oh yes, you're right. So cockpit lighting, we can adjust, but it's sunshine, so we don't need that. The parking brake should be on. That's correct, that's set. And we got the ATIS, so we can get talking about that when we do our programming.
Right. Yep.
Yep, but good call. Having said that, we can go back to the overhead, and the crew supply is set, and we can do the fuel pumps. So selecting them to on. And the probe and window heat can come on, and the passenger signs can come on.
Oh, can you just do the probe window heat? Can you do that on and off again for, or off and on again for me?
It's off now, and now
Yeah.
it's turned back on.
Now it's come on. That's lovely. Thank you.
And the emergency light has been armed. So that takes care of that, and we will have a look-see on the pedestal, and the nose wheel and anti-skid is on. We do not need the radios for this trip. We're going to do it offline. The thrust levers, I've set mine to idle, and it's also showing so in the cockpit. And can you confirm that you've set your thrust to idle?
Yeah, confirm thrust set to idle.
Thank you. Engine master switches are off, and the engine mode selector switch is to normal. Speed brake lever is down, and the flaps are 0.
Confirm.
We can set the transponder to auto, and we'll set the TCAS to TARA. And I'll just enter some random code, so we'll do 4406. Oops.
And can I just confirm the Alt RP2? Would that normally go on? Or do we leave them?
Which one?
It's the three knobs on the left, the bottom one. That would
Yep.
normally go to, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it can probably go to on. Oh, that's altitude reporting. No, when we're on the ground, it can stay on off, and then when we enter the runway, it can go to on.
All right. Okay.
I'm actually unable to enter a number into the TCAS. Can you try to enter something? The transponder code?
Nothing's going in.
No. And I can't change the ATC as box from 1 to 2, so that's okay. What if I turn it to on? Does it work? No. What if I set this one to on? Does it work then? No. And what if I do this? Does it work? No.
No, it looks like that's got a bug in it then.
Yep. Okay, well, we'll leave it as 7,000. Which means that this version of the development mode is not flyable on that sim, but we're flying offline anyway, so that's fine. And we do not need an ATC clearance, so that's okay. We're ready to do the programming, so could you be so kind?
Yeah, then we want me to enter the details, yeah?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Let's have a look. So for this, we need to go to the init A page first.
A page?
Yep. And you can enter departure Lima India Bravo Victor.
Oh. Lima India Bravo Victor.
Yep, to Lima India Romeo Foxtrot.
Foxtrot. So it's Lima India Bravo Victor and then Lima India Romeo Foxtrot.
That is correct. Yep, and you can return, and you can set flight level 300.
Flight level 300.
And just gonna check our cost index. It's gonna be 10.
Cost index of 10.
Cool.
Confirmed, done.
We can go to the flight plan page. And you can select our departure.
Well, that's Lima India Bravo Victor in this case.
Yep. And we're going to depart from runway 32 right via the Dogu 5 Bravo departure. Yep.
And then install. Yeah.
That is correct.
That's done.
And then you can select Dogus as the waypoint. And you can, from the next waypoint from there will be Tango Echo Alpha.
Tango Echo Alpha.
Roger. And
sure.
that looks correct. It's 138 nautical miles away, so that looks fine. And just insert it. And let me just see the total. Let me just see where could I see that? Just wondered how far our flight plan is. Just let me have a look. Yes. Okay. So the ground distance is 243. The distance we are seeing here is 221, and that looks okay to me. That is within parameters, because we're going to add our arrival as well. And that is a kind of distance that leaves time for us to program the arrival when we get into the air. So I guess we'll do the rest of it. The approach and the star we'll do when we get up in the air.
Okay.
We can now you can read up every waypoint for me that you see, and I'll be silent if it's correct, and if something's wrong, I'll speak up.
So we're going from Lima India Bravo Victor 32R. Next is USR. And Dogus. T. D-Cell.
Yeah, the other way.
And then arriving airport, Lima India Romeo Foxtrot.
That is correct. Okay, good. And we can also have a little look-see on the plan page just to see. I'm going to just adjust my brightness a little bit. You can have it up on your screen as well if you want to.
Yeah.
Could you just scroll us through from the beginning just to let us see how it looks like on the ND? See if it looks okay. Yeah, so there we are at our departure. Let's go into user. Just continue. Yeah, you have to use the up arrow to go down. It's a little bit strange, isn't it? Dogus, yeah, yeah.
T, decel, and there.
Just keep scrolling down or scrolling up. Yeah, T and Lerf. Yeah, that looks fine. Perfectly fine. Nothing unusual there.
You can't see that. That looks like it was out of sync then.
Yep. Want to scroll down through it again? Yep. Cool.
Right. Okay.
So
no there. So the radnav now is it?
say again.
What, are we carrying
Yep.
on with the flow on the?
Yes, that is correct. So the next point is radnav. We do not need the radnav for this one, so we can skip that point. For now, we will use it for the ILS though. We can go to the init B. And let's see, I'm just going to check our operational flight plan for the fuel we're going to need. We're going to have 5.4 tons of fuel, and I'm going to
When you
set
say
that.
when you say init B,
Yep, that's
that
the
would
second
again.
page of the init. Yep, that's page 2 of the init page.
Why isn't it showing me to go to page 2 then?
Because you have to use the right arrow on the MCDU to get there. There you
Correct.
go.
Yeah, so we don't have option buttons on the right for this bit, do we?
Yeah.
That's the curve.
For this, I'm going to try to just set the fuel on my side and see if it transmits to you, because according to the latest update of your controls, it should now transmit. So I'm going to set 5.4 tons of fuel. Let's see, a little bit lower. Yeah, or 5 point, let's see, what was it? 5 point, yeah, 5.4, so 28 maybe? I'm going to take 29. So I'll take 5.5 to 6 kilos and leave the payload for now.
You're adjusting in flight simulator for the fuel levels.
Yes, only there. So I don't know. Can you already see what does it say on the fuel on board for you right now?
Flight simulator on the display.
On the display. On the display.
Fuel on board is 5440 kilograms.
That is correct. So that's synchronized perfectly well. That's excellent. Yep. So let's see. We will now complete the fields in init B, and you can set 5.4 in the block fuel.
5.4.
Yeah. And you can do the little magic trick with the zero fuel weight. Yep. And it's now populated, and as we can see, we will have 3.3 tons of fuel on our arrival, giving us a flight time of about 2 hours and 6 minutes when we get there. So that's plenty of fuel extra for the trip we're doing. And we have 200 kilos for taxi, and that looks perfectly fine for me. Trip is 37 minutes estimated, so that's nice to know. Yeah, we don't have an alternate programmed, and that's fine. And final reserve is also in there for 30 minutes. And minimum destination fuel aboard extra is going to be 700 kilos, giving us a total of 3.3 on arrival. Yep, that looks fine. Okay, we can go to the perf page.
Yeah, on the perf page.
Yep. So we can have trim. We can have flaps 1. Oh, before we do that, can you go back to the init B page, please?
Yes. Yeah, on init B.
Yeah, so we have 20. The zero fuel weight center of gravity is 21.9, and that should give us about THS of 1 up. So we can go back to the perf page and do flaps 1 up.
Chris, how did you know that 21.9 would give us 1 up?
Because when you look straightly above the throttle and look down on it, on either side, you see that it has two sets of numbers going along it. The inner one, the one closest to the trim wheel, is the center of gravity in reference to the zero fuel weight center of gravity number. So it says 21.9. So you can look at the reference there, and then you can see approximate, okay, where about would that be, and then you can select the trim for that center of gravity position.
Didn't know that, but thank you.
Yep. So if you,
I'm
yep,
just going back.
that's cool. And 1/1 up.
Once entered.
Thank you.
Change
We're not
system.
we're not going to do a flex temp, and you can do the V speeds calculations.
Press each one twice. Now I make a point of not just doing this quickly, as in taking my time doing it, because
It could get
doesn't
messed up.
help.
Yeah. So what speeds do you have?
So V1 is 122, VR is 123, and V2 is 127.
Checked. And that looks fine. You can set the trans alt to 7,000.
Just changing that now. Trans out set.
Perfect.
7,000.
Yep. Okay, so I guess we can do our IFIS panel on either side. So I'll set mine to something sensible. I will have mine on arc, and I guess I want 20 nautical. Gives me a little bit of range. I'll put my flight director on.
For anybody that doesn't know, that the IFS panel is the autopilot panel above, but to the right or the left
Yeah.
of the stuff like that.
Electronic flight instrument system. So it basically are the buttons that control your flight director, the primary flight display, and no, sorry, the ND, the navigation display.
My plan for now.
Yep, and we can set our initial climb to, we can have it at 5,000, so that's fine.
Yeah, on default 5,000 then.
Let me just see here. Oh, actually, you can set it to 11,000.
For 11,000.
Yep, and remember to push it to make sure that you tell the airplane that you want it to manage it for you.
Yeah, the little arrow that's pointing up, I've just pressed it when it comes up to up.
Cool. So let me just go back to our flows. Did you select? Yep, flight director. Cool. We do not need the ADF, so I'll keep mine. Both of those will go off for me.
Okay, no problem.
And instrument panels, we can now set we can adjust our brightness and just make it so it's sensible for us all. It's quite bright outside, so I'm going to increase it quite a bit. Nice. Oh, and I select the Navin logo lights on. I forgot it earlier. Okay, are you ready for the departure briefing?
Adjusting the overhead panel lights as well.
Yep. Do you want your in plan mode still?
Yes, because I like to. Oh, we've got it. I'll change it back to arc, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, let's change.
Okay, so let me just have a look. We are gonna do runway 32 right departure from the left seat. We are doing the Dogo 5 Bravo departure, which has an initial altitude of 11,000, or making it flight level 100, 110, I mean. The transition level is 7,000. We are flying over some mountainous terrain, so we can expect some turbulence on the way. Mechanical turbulence from the mountain range here. And it's not a very long flight, so actually we have to be on guard when it comes to doing the programming for the arrival. But our last waypoint for the SID it will be Dogus, and I suspect we will be able to do the programming after that. Let's have a little look-see in the perf page. So we have V-speeds of 122, 123, and 127. As I said, the initial climb is 11,000, and we have trans alt of 7,000 with a flaps 1 departure and trim 1 up. We do not have any speed constraints, so I'm going to skip the climb and the cruise page, just verifying that it has 250 below 10,000, which it has, and that's fine. We'll come back to the descent and approach page when that's relevant. In the instance that we should be disconnected from your controls during the departure, we both fly our airplanes like they were our own, and when they're stable, we engage the autopilot. Suggest we leave it for 11,000 for now, and just decide when we should re-engage your control. The most important thing is that we fly the airplane. Any questions?
Just one thing to confirm is that quite a lot of the details you've just read out are also in the MCDU as well, so that you can read them back.
Yep.
Pilot flight.
Right. So for example, the speeds I get from the perf page. The SID I have in the operational flight plan, but we can also find it going into the flight plan and clicking the departure. It will all be listed at the top here with runway 32 right and the Dogus 5 Bravo departure, if I wanted to have a reminder of what's programmed in here. That looks fine to me.
Yeah.
I expect not to, actually a little addendum to the briefing, I'm going to hand fly a little bit, so I'm not going to engage the autopilot right away. I'm going to do a little bit of the SID before I'm going to call for it though.
That's okay, no problem. Confirm.
When it comes to the taxi route, we are taking off in, let's see, it's the way we're facing is the opposite way, so we're going to taxi straight ahead actually. But we have to turn off and then backtrack on the runway because the taxiway is too small for this airplane. Sounds good?
Yep, sounds good.
Great. Okay, I guess let's start the APU.
I'm just going to change my views a minute because they've just gone funny.
Yep. Oh, and you can also confirm that you have QNH 1025 millibar set.
Yeah, QNH 1025 set.
And 1025 set on the standard and cross-checked.
Just reset the co-pilot view.
Yep.
Imagine. Yeah, so we're ready for the APU, yeah?
Yep.
This is where I just call out what I'm doing then, correct?
Yep. Yep.
So select APU master switch and then APU start switch.
Did you do both of them now?
I've just done the one. I always give it about 3 seconds before I press the start.
That did not work for me, so I'm going to gauge it myself as well. And doing the start as well. So that did not translate. Yeah.
We turn them off and back on again, or to test
no,
it?
Just do you have on lights on the APU master and the start switch right now?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, and so do I. So that should be fine.
To external power and doing that now.
No, you mustn't disconnect the external power before the APU is come online.
Sorry.
No problem.
So, right, yes, I reread the wrong part of the flowchart, it does say select APO bleed when available.
Yep.
So press Control 3 and just go to that option, and we'll wait for it.
Now we'll just enjoy our tea. Yep, I actually show APU available on my lower DU. Do you have it available as well?
Yeah, it's just come on now. So I'm going back to Control 8 to look at the panel. And now we can turn off external power.
Yep.
Let's go. Can you confirm that's done?
No, it's still off. It's still on for me, so I'll disconnect it myself. Did you select auto APU bleed on?
I have.
Okay, then
But
I'll set it myself
that's
as
not
well.
in the flow, is it? That's not in the flow, is it?
It is. It's the second part. You first start it, and then you select APU bleed when available, and then deselect the external power.
Right, let me reread that, because I didn't read it like that for some reason. Right, okay, yep. I see I've skipped one just by looking at it.
Yep, no problem. So now you have APU bleed on, and master switch is still on, and it is available. And the external power is off, right?
External power is off, yes.
Yep, cool. Okay, can we have the before start checklist, please?
Yes. So, cockpit prep, that's for me to do, is it?
Yeah, you do the challenge, so you read the challenge and I reply.
Preparation,
Completed?
departure briefing,
Completed.
departure,
Yep, departure briefing completed.
signs,
They are on, and I thought I set it to auto, but they are now.
quantity,
I have 5,440 on me, and then you can say what you have as well.
confirm 5,440 for myself as well.
Check. And cross-checked.
Barrow reference,
1025 set on my side, and standard backup.
25 on my side as well.
Okay, so checked and cross-checked.
APU bleed,
Is on.
doors, ECAM doors, cockpit locked.
Doors are closed, and let me just see. I never get that switch. Ugh.
It's right next to the speed brake.
Yeah, I get it, but it's just so fidgety. There we go. It's locked for me now.
For me now as well. Anti-skid and nose wheel.
It is, well, we do not need a pushback, so we can do straight, so we will leave it on.
Confirm. And the beacon.
Is on.
And throttle levers.
Are idle.
And park and brake.
Can stay on.
So that's the before start checklist by the looks of it.
Okay, we're ready to start. You may start engine number 2 and 1.
So I'm ignition start.
Did you set?
Engine.
Did you select the ignition to start right now?
Yes.
Oh, it's not. It's not working. Yeah. Wait. Are you? Hang on. Are we connected even?
Well,
No, you're not. You are not connected.
What do you mean?
You're not connected. Yep. Try to reconnect. There you go.
So how did I get disconnected then?
I don't know. It just happened randomly. Actually, hang on. I'm gonna stop the server. I'm gonna stop the server. I'm gonna set the disconnect timeout to something more like 25 seconds. Can you do the same for your side? The connection timeout. Set that to 25 seconds. And then save the settings. And then I'm gonna copy the code again and send it to you. There you go.
New code received. Connecting, showing connected.
And I have clicked you, so you are active. Okay.
That's the first time I disconnected, to be honest with you, ever.
Yeah, you've been super stable. So now I have the ignition switch set to ignition, or the mode selector to ignition, and the engine master switch is both of them are off.
Correct, yes.
Yep. Okay,
So
you can
we
start
are
engine number
oh,
2 and 1.
selected to start, engine to 2 on.
Check.
Confirm. Just monitoring N2 on the engine, on the ECAM, or control 3 if you want to view it that way. So
So
N2 is past 20%. I normally would start engine 1, but you can wait till it's available. Do you want me to wait till it says available?
yeah. I don't want to teach people bad habits.
I think they class it as a quick start when they're running out of time for their departure.
Yeah, okay.
Available engine 1, engine 2,
Check.
start an engine 2, 1. Confirm an ECAM that it's going up, it's starting. N2 past 20%. He must say something in the cockpit at this point. There we go. Engine 1 is available, so confirming that engines 2 and 1 are normal.
Thank you. Okay, we can have the after start checklist, please.
So
I'll
confirm when I'm logged
disconnect
in.
the APU now. Yep, whenever you're ready.
Where does it say in the flow that you should disconnect the APU?
It's on my side, so I do it.
And do not, yep, so engine mode selector normal. So do we call these out or are we just doing them?
Yeah, actually we should, but because I haven't fixed this part of the checklist yet, or the flows, because they're in tandem, like parallel, but they should actually be spaced out so it's one after the other, so you can call it out. So yeah, please go ahead, call them out.
Mode selector norm, ground spoilers armed, which I believe is pulling it up.
Yep.
People do ask me that quite a lot. Header trim set to 0, confirmed. Flaps set to 0. Flap set, they should be 1, shouldn't they?
Check.
Trim set, so I believe that is going to 1, is it?
Yeah, and you do that by going to the flight control page, and then simply watching the number in the middle there over the rudder. It says pitch trim, and then at the moment 0.4 up. So you set that to 1 up.
Where am I looking at now then?
The lower DU or the lower ECAM.
Which the pitch trim, so we can check it on there as well, can we?
Yep. So you just simply use either a button on your yoke, or you can actually just scroll the trim wheel itself if you want to. Yep.
Using the mouse rule on the mouse, but that's much easier than looking down the side of the throttle.
Yeah.
Right, so yes, pitch trim is set to 1, and ECAM status check, auto brake.
ECAM status refers to the button in that has the STS letters on them. It's below the doors and pressure button, STS.
Yeah.
Do you see it? It's below the lower ECAM. It's all those like engine, APU, flight control.
I know what you mean now. So if I do control 5, which one am I going? ST.
STS.
Right. Okay. That's one I didn't know. Yeah.
Yep.
Status normal.
Yep. Okay, so
So
we're
that's
ready for the
confirmed.
checklist when you're ready.
So, am I doing this as well then? Am I? Yeah.
Yep, all of the you usually always read them, and then on the ground I will respond, but in the air most of the time you will be responding to yourself.
Nice, as required. As
So
required.
yeah, anti-ice not required today
Anti-skidded nose wheel.
is on.
Trim.
No, isn't it ECAM?
Oh, cam status.
Is checked, normal.
Trim.
1 units up,
And
and rudder 0.
I'll check all the flight controls now. Or
And now I check the flight controls. It's only the pilot flying doing it though in the sim. So what I
yeah.
do now, I will, like, you look at the flight control page and then I will move it and then you will say full left. I will be silent, but you will speak it.
Okay, yeah. So I clicked on the flight control, but yeah, ailerons right. Ailerons right. Confirm.
Yeah, that was aileron right, and now I take it this way.
Ailerons left. Confirm.
Yep. And then neutral.
Neutral. Elevators up. Elevators down.
And then neutral.
They're neutral. Sorry. Yes. And rudder left. Neutral. Rudder right. Back to neutral.
Check. Okay. You can do your taxi flows.
Okay, so auto brakes max. Again, am I saying them as I'm doing them, or am I
Yep,
just doing?
always.
So auto brake set to max. PWS set to auto. So that's the wind shear. Obtain taxi clearance.
Yep, we got it.
Lights on.
No, yeah, I'll call for lights. Yeah, we can have taxi lights. Clear on the left.
Clear on the right.
Okay. Brakes released. Okay, we're rolling. Just confirm that you also are rolling.
I am.
Good, good.
Rolling, rolling.
Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Whenever anybody says it now, it's in my head all the time.
Okay, we can have the before takeoff checklist until the line.
So flap settings.
Yep. One set. And that one you have to say as well.
One set. So I say all of it, do I?
Yep. No, this one, like, the thing is, normally you would read the left side and I would respond on the right side when we're on the ground. But the flap setting is so important that both pilots have to confirm that the flaps are set correctly.
Yeah, I can see it now in the flight. Both is in brackets. Yeah, so flap settings are set one.
Yep.
Crew data.
Okay, so what I do now is a little bit complicated, but I'll walk you through it. So to respond to this, we will say the runway. And the runway we are using is 32 right. And 32 right is to our left. We're going to backtrack on it and turn around at the end of it. And then we're going to be on 32 right. And then the rest of it has to do with the V speeds, and they are listed actually on top of the speed tape over here on the left side. You see, it says 122 on the blue, and then 127 is the cyan. So that's what you read. You say runway 32 right, 122, 127, climb blue, nav blue, 1 FD2, and then
So
11,000 set.
they should have written all this down before.
No, yeah, I'm saying this to everyone listening in on the video. So this is how you respond to this. This is how I, as the pilot flying, will respond to that challenge. Is I will see the V speeds and then 122, 127, and then the climb speed has to do. No, the climb has to do with the mode of the airplane, what it's ready for, and it's blue because it's armed. So 122, 127. Climb blue, nav blue, and then 1 FD2, it refers to the flight directors, that both 1 and 2 flight directors are on, and then 11,000 set on the FCU, or the flight control unit, the one that controls the autopilot. And that's okay, and then what you can respond is reviewed and set. You can say reviewed and set.
Reviewed.
Check. Okay, and then you can continue on the checklist.
So we can memo.
Yep. And then you have to do the points here, so to make them all green, no blue. So the cabin still needs to be advised, and the takeoff config needs to be tested.
Right, so we need to do that now then, do we?
Yep.
Do I need to do that, or?
Yes. And that's something you can normally do before taxi, but it wasn't really it was a really short taxi until we got to the runway. The cabin still needs to be checked as far as I can see. Did you call them?
Yeah, okay. I'm just doing it now. So I do find that sometimes when we press the all,
It did work now. Yep.
It worked, did it? Yeah. Sometimes you need to press just the all.
Yep.
Or
A few
all
times. Yeah.
And then it'll do it.
Okay, so you can give me the lights, please. So that means that strobes can go to on, not auto, but they can go on. And you can give me the turn-off lights, and the landing lights can stay off until we are when we get the takeoff clearance.
I've got strobes already on, just to let you know. Can you confirm that?
That is correct. But the taxi lights are actually off for me, and the runway turn-off lights are also off.
They're on for me.
Oh, okay. If I do this, do they flick for you?
Yeah, now it's flicking, yes.
Did it go to the off position for you now?
No, showing is on now.
Yep. So that's good.
That's okay. It went down in apps.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Just off from my views again.
Yep. Wow, it's a really lovely day here. I can't see a single cloud, but I guess it must be working the way I always get suspicions when I can't see a cloud. But the barometer, or the altimeter, is showing 1025, so I guess the weather is working.
Yes, it is. It does make you worry sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Not perfect weather.
Okay, gonna slow down here and do the turn. It is a little bit tight, this one, so I'm gonna be hard pressed to make this. I'm gonna head over here, and then do a teardrop.
So just to confirm, we've got CA and FO abbreviations in
Oh,
each
we
flow.
still do? Oh, yeah, that's wrong. It should be pilot flying and pilot monitoring. So the CA is pilot flying. Even after 6 hours of work today, some errors managed to sneak through.
Well, that's why we do these things.
Yeah. Okay, we can have that before takeoff checklist beyond the line.
Right, let me have a look at this then. So which part is this in the flow now?
It is the before takeoff checklist after the very thick black line. After ECAM memo.
Takeoff runway.
3-2 right, and then you say it as well.
Right.
And
And clear.
we can imagine we got the takeoff clearance, so you can set the takeoff lights to on. The landing lights, I mean.
On.
Yep, there we go. Yep. So you read the before takeoff checklist beyond the line, please.
So we've done the takeoff runway, which
Yep.
was and then we got the 2 clear.
Takeoff clearance is received.
Is received.
Yeah, and then you respond before takeoff checklist is complete.
Checklist complete.
Yep. Okay, ready to go?
Yep.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the thrust levers to about 50% to let them spool up, and then I'm going to firmly set them to max toga. And then you are going to start the chrono as I start the roll. You're going to click the clock to make the chrono start running, and then you're
When you
going to.
say what's the chrono?
It's to the right of the upper ECAM, below the auto brakes. It's this clock thing, and the chrono is the upper right button on it. It's a little right round button, says CHR. It's a chronometer that actually just keeps the time, so you can at the end of the flight see how long it took. Okay?
Yep, got that now.
Yeah, and then you will monitor the thrust, and you will say thrust set when you see the N1 spool up to like 100%. You will say thrust set. And that should happen before 80 knots. And you will call out 100 knots and V1 and then rotate. Okay, let's go get this. Releasing brakes. So guess thrust set, and then Mantoga SRS runway.
Thrust set.
I have V1. Yep, rotate. And then you call positive rate.
Positive rate.
Gear up.
Gear up. Gears locked.
Thank you. Okay, throttle, thrust climb, and nav. Alt blue. Flaps up.
Flaps up. So I should be doing the after takeoff checklist?
Yes, after takeoff checklist, please.
The takeoff checklist. So the landing gear
is up.
And flaps, 0.
Check.
Boilers.
Yeah, because that's actually a checklist you will do by yourself. I forgot it.
Okay.
Okay, you can give me the autopilot one, please. And okay, and then you always say autopilot 1 engaged.
Yeah, it hasn't engaged me on the thing. I'm just checking now. I'm just going to disengage and re-engage, okay?
Okay.
Autopilot 1 engaged.
Autopilot 1 confirmed. And we're passing the transition altitude. So we're gonna set standard, and you can set standard on the backup.
When you say backup,
Yep.
what is classed as a backup?
It's the one to the left of the chronometer, so between my primary flight display and the upper ECAM. It has a big white turn knob that you can turn to get the altimeter to set to 1013.
It's the one I didn't know about, to be honest with
Do you see it now?
you. Nope.
Do you see you see the upper ECAM, right?
Yes.
Um, okay, so do you see right to the left of it? What do you see there? You see a little blue. You see like a backup primary flight display, right, with the speed to the left and then the altitude to the right.
Yes.
Yeah, and underneath that you have the altimeter setting. It says 1025 at the moment slash
Oh,
3027,
yes. Right, yes.
and that you set to
That's
1013.
1013. That's my fault. I completely forgot about it. I remember you telling me about it now.
No problem.
There
Yep.
we go. Set 1013.
Set and cross-checked, and we can do we are passing 10,000 for, we can actually, you can use, we can set, I'm gonna set 300 now, and engaged it in managed mode. So we're passing flight level 100 for 300. So that's the signal to you to do your passing 10,000 flow.
Lights off. Seatbelts as required.
Yep, they can come out.
Defect. They can come off now.
Yep.
Into my viewer set.
Is your spoilers still are they armed or disarmed?
They're disarmed now.
So you don't have on the ECAM, it doesn't say ground spoilers armed for you?
Checking now. It does say ground spoilers armed.
Yeah, so it's not disarmed. There we go. Cool.
Right, cool. Checking. ECAM. So that's the ECAM review we've just done, is there as well?
Yep.
Right, so that's the 10,000 feet flows completed.
Yep. Okay, so we can actually, let's see, we have 196. Yeah, I guess we can actually start planning our arrival. So I'm gonna get up our little nav map, and could you program the arrival, please?
Into the, right, okay. I'll have a good go then. Will you walk us through it verbally, or?
Yep. Yep. I'm just gonna. If you click onto the destination, so we can get into the arrival page. There we go. We want the ILS for runway 34 right, and then we want the let's see, the Lima Alpha Tango 3 Charlie arrival. It's going to be a little bit further down, I think. Was it 3 Charlie? Yeah, 3 Charlie. Lat 3 Charlie.
Yeah.
And then we want the Odula transition.
That's like a nice transition.
Yeah. Okay, you can insert that. Looks good to me.
Yeah, that's inserted.
Perfect. And we can check the RadNav page.
One
Uh,
1.5.
yeah, it should be 111.55. Okay, cool. So that's in there. That's really good. And when it comes to the destination performance figures, you can go to perf page and take us over to the approach page for that performance. And we have the wind is 4.8 at 3 knots.
48-3.
The temperature is 9 degrees Celsius. And the pressure is 1026.
Pressure 1026.
Yep.
QNH. They're in. Confirm.
They are in. Yep. You can set the. Well, I don't actually have the. Hang on a second.
The MDA, is it?
Yeah, just a moment. The transitional altitude is 6,000 feet.
Transition altitude 6,000 feet.
And the elevation is 8 feet. So we'll set 408 in the MDA.
8 MDA.
Yep. And that looks good to me. We have a VAP of 124, which is our approach speed, which will be the flaps full speed, and then we have the landing speed of 119er. So that looks good to me.
The VAP speed is in blue and the VLS is in green.
Yep. Okay, so perfect. You can actually, what you could do now, if you have a look, it is that it says now you're supposed to do the auto brakes, by the way.
Yeah, just looking at that now. Auto brake set. Confirmed settings with pilot flying. Medium, I presume.
No, I think we can have low.
Set. The approach is ready for your review.
Okay, you have control.
I have control.
So I'm just gonna check this out on the ND, just to make sure that nothing looks super strange, because it quickly can. It's a little bit messy. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, actually this looks good. This is exactly the way it should be.
So just to confirm, you on the plan.
Yes, you can see it on my left ND, or my left PFD. You will see I'm on the plan mode. And you will see we're doing this zigzag going into the ILS. And at Romeo Foxtrot 483, we're going to do the deceleration into approach phase. And that looks okay to me. We're going to be 250 probably at that time, and we're going to slow down to flap 0 speed. I would like a flap 1. It could be that I want to go a little bit slower before that, but I'll call that out when we come to it. We have some constraints. We have a 486, which is the waypoint right after the deceleration waypoint. It has 5,000. And Odula is our final approach fix. And that is at 3,500. So we're going to intercept for the ILS there for the glide slope. We're going to probably take it out a little bit further. I guess we're going to have it already at Romeo Foxtrot 486. Yeah.
Confirm, yeah.
She isn't climbing today. Do you notice that? She's stuck at flight level 285,
Yes, I've just noticed that.
and the speed was coming down.
It's set at 250 for me. She's got
Uh,
to be going up now. Have you changed it?
no, but the speed is now increasing to 290.
60.
Yeah, it's at 260 now, but it's climbing to the pink triangle. Let me see.
Where the pink triangle is. Description of the pink triangle, what it is.
It is the manage mode. So if you see, like right now, my MAC number is decimal 737. What is it for you?
It's 7389.
Yeah, same for me. And you see on the speed tape, you have a yellow marker, and then if you look very closely, you will see some pink lines across it. That's actually because the yellow line is on top of the pink triangle. Do you see it?
I can see it.
Yep. So that's the managed speed mode, and I'm see we're coming up to flight level 300 now. So yep, everything's low. We have Alt Star coming in, so we're capturing the altitude.
So that's on the right. It's the 3000 coming in on the right.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's the one. But if you look on the annunciator mode on the top where it says speed, alt, nav.
It's Alt Star.
Yeah, Alt Star means it's capturing, and when it has captured, it will go back to Alt. Okay, right now it's just basically cruising along the Italian countryside.
It's a very nice view out there with that.
Yeah.
Drone.
And you can notice that probably a few of I see at least one player over there. It's called Parasanti, and it even sounds Italian, so he's probably local from here. What do you think about the checklist so far? Is it like I think you think it's comprehensive, right?
Yeah, it's a bit more user friendly as well.
Is it user friendly? Like, is the text too small? Is it like?
It's readable. For when you're, it's only a couple of things have caught me back when I'm going back and forth from one screen to another.
Yeah.
Well, that you probably. But it's much more easier to read than it was, and the flow itself is easier than it was.
Cool.
So it's a good version. It's a very good
Yep.
version. It's simplified a lot more now as well, so to make it a bit easier.
Yep. Okay. I will take control. I have control.
Control.
So it's still a little bit early for the descent checklist. I guess we have 170 nautical miles left. I guess we will have to start thinking about it when we come to like yeah, 110 nautical, I guess.
Yeah, and we can tell that by looking in the MCDU, can't we? How far we got to go.
Yep. We look at the very bottom here where it says destination LERF 34R. UTC is 1641. Well, we do not fly on live time at the moment, so but we're currently at 1618 UTC time, and 1641 we expect to be there. So that's in about 20 minutes. Little bit more, 24 minutes, and the destination is 164 nautical miles from here, and we are estimating to have 3.4 tons of fuel on board when we arrive. So how did the FS economy go for you today? Had any good flights?
It was just short flights, but what I tend to do is plan them in advance, as in not just do one single flight.
But try
So
to gather up
yeah,
more and make it effective
yeah.
economically?
So it took me a little bit longer today because I was in a bit of a rural area, so where there wasn't many airports, so I could only pick up about 2 or 3
Did you say
jobs
you
from.
were flying in Lithuania?
It was Lithuania, yeah. So
Okay.
there wasn't many airports there for me to like pick up good jobs. So I've only done about 15,000 today,
Do
but
you rent? Sorry, go ahead.
that's in a space of an hour, mind you. So
Yeah. Yeah, well, and then you use time acceleration, I guess.
yeah, because I don't go too fast. I just do it to like ×4 just to speed up the run, really, because
Yep.
you don't want the simulator or anything going wrong.
Yep.
But yeah, so I've got a couple of aircraft now, so it's not too
Do you own them yourself?
bad. I own the one, and I've leased 3 others. I've got a nice G58, and I've got 208 caravans now,
Ooh, and
so
the
we can
208
do.
is pretty well good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Is that
very
your
good.
workhorse?
And that's my workhorse. That is, yeah. You can put 12, 13 passengers, do $12,000 a flight, sort of thing. So
Yeah.
it's quite nice. I got the other one for me and Wackle to do flight sharing in
Cool.
FSE.
Yeah.
I doing your controls flight sharing. So.
Cool. Yeah,
And
did you do that in the 208 yet? Well, you and I have done a flight your control in St. Bart's, if I remember correctly.
yeah, I haven't done it with Wackle yet, no.
But is that
Because we
some?
want to see if we can do a share control company where we can, rather than just flying from A to B, we can do the share control and make money in the game as well, if that makes sense.
That would be super awesome. Also, like, well, I guess because FS Economy is probably the best bet because it's free. Like, the moment you ask people to use something that's payware, it's a little bit more tricky.
Well, yeah, it's nice and free, and it's quite user friendly. I mean, as you know, you've probably got the other versions as
Yeah, I
well.
have them all.
Yeah, I've got them all, and I've reverted back to FSE. I play with the others a little bit, so Air Hauler 2 has had a nice update, but it's
Yeah.
still not as friendly as
You know,
FSE.
I commend the developer of Airhauler 2 for his work, but I'm sorry to say, the user interface just gives me an impression that in the end, all it is a very fancy Excel spreadsheet.
Just a nice little GUI interface
Yeah.
brought in from a little database in the background.
Yeah.
That's
So
what it is,
so it's
really.
basically just a lot of tables going on in the background, and it's all spreadsheets basically.
Yep, that's about it.
But then you have things like SkyPark that simulate like social media, and you have like it pretends to be like an iPhone or iPad or whatever it is.
It's like an iPad, which is quite good, but I find that the user interface isn't as friendly. It's probably the worst one out of all of them for me.
Yeah.
But
And
it is
then,
quite
what did you think
quite
about
good.
the Neo one? What is it called? The Neo Flight? Neo Fly?
Yeah, that now I've still got that, and that's the very first one I started on, and I like that because you can fly missions yourself, and but you also get the AI. Um, so with that, it's very good, and it's a nice, easy one. It's free. It's like FSE,
Yeah.
but I like FSE. It's more realistic in the way as you have to fly the airplane,
Yeah.
and you haven't got the AI doing it for you,
Yeah.
which can make you a bit
Oh, can you
lazy.
do that in Neo?
You can do it in
Yeah.
Neo as well.
Oh, yeah. Because I don't like that. To be honest, that is the thing that ruins it for me with air hauler as well. Is the moment you get yourself a couple of pilots to fly it for you, it just basically is something you log in once a day, just set them to fly somewhere and make you money, and then you forget about it.
We
It
coming up
stops
to
being about the flying and more about the economy.
we coming up to the time of descent.
Let me have a look. Yeah, it's still a little bit to go.
Right.
Well, actually, we do actually. If we want to cut corners, I guess this is a good time. I guess it's because it's all those bends that are making it so. Yep. Let's do the descent checklist, please. So this is one of them that you read out by yourself.
Yes, so descent checklist. So approach briefing completed. Auto brakes, low, medium set, set to low. Ecam status is checked. All green, no blues.
No, ECAM status again means the STS button.
Right, so what am I supposed to be checking?
The ECAM status. So it's the STS button. You remember in front of the throttle levers, the STS button where it says normal?
Yeah. I'm trying to look for it now. Yep, there we go. Yeah,
Yep.
status normal. Yep. I said I had a bad memory.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's set. So again, that's going to control 5, looking down on the STS button.
Okay. And then I guess you say descent checklist complete.
Descent checklist complete.
Check. Okay. I'm gonna set. Let's see. Our altitude here was 5,000, wasn't it? 5,500 for that. Okay, so I'm gonna set 5,500. I'm initiating the descent manage mode. We have descent and the blue alt, and setting 5,500.
Yeah, I can see that set.
Yeah, so that's throttle idle, descent, and alt blue for 5,500.
So just to confirm, Bullhorn, when do we change from standard?
Uh, we
No
uh,
power.
we change from standard to the local pressure when we're up in the air and coming down. That point where we do that is called the transition level, TL. When we are on the ground going up, that point is called transition altitude. So coming down, it's the transition level, and we find that point by going to the perf page and then to the approach phase, and we set that to 6,000. So that's the point where we go from standard to the local pressure. And we are planning on a local pressure of 1026 millibars.
Thank you. It's just that's one of the things that always sticks in my mind is when do we actually swap over?
Yep. Oh, and the sun is so golden. It's super nice. Oh, and for those flying, I think actually, if I click, can you have a look at my cup over here on my side? Do you see
I
my
can't
cup?
see it. No, I know it's there, but I can't see it. Hang on. Yeah, go on.
How about now?
No, I can't see it now.
Yeah,
Drinking it.
yep, and there it is, huh?
I'll click on it, do you?
Yep, and yep, yours is gone as well, and there we go, there it
Oh,
is.
that's good.
So even that's synchronized now. And then we have the flight pad over here, that should be turning on now.
Only on your side, isn't it?
Yep, but you can still see it, right?
Yes, yes.
Yep.
How much that is linked now?
And let's see. Oops.
What happened then?
Yeah, I'm trying to write, but it's impossible.
Do you do the landing gear then?
Yeah. Okay, that's a bug.
Press G, didn't you?
And now it's keeping entering something. Okay, don't do that at home. It's very dangerous. Yeah, okay, well, interesting.
It's a little worrying then when I can see the landing gear.
Yeah, oh, I didn't mean to scare you, but I was typing my username, which is August78, and there's a G in there. So G presses the gear down, right?
It does, and I got
Yeah.
the Logitech flight panel, and all the lights lit up on the landing gear, and I was
Yeah.
like, what the heck?
Yeah,
Well, no.
do you have that as well? I love my little landing panel.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have the radio panel as well?
No, I haven't. There's no point in buying one now because they want like 150 odd
Oh, yeah.
pounds, and
I
my
got that
car.
one together with the other one. I have the AP panel, the multi-switch display, and then I have the radio stack, which is
Which one?
super helpful when I'm on VATSIM, of course.
My partner was going to get it for me, and she went, "Oh, I nearly had it," and I was like, "How much were you going to pay for that?" And she said, "Oh, 150." I said, "Well, don't. Just wait for the new one because there's a new one coming out, isn't there?"
Oh,
That's why
really?
there's a new version of it as well because it's
Okay.
not Windows compatible really. You have to do driver downloads and everything for it. So they're supposed
Oh,
to be doing a new one, which is why I think as well they're coming out of stock sort of thing. They're supposed to be a newer version coming out.
I didn't have to
Um,
do driver downloads for mine, but I did have to purchase the SPAD Next thing. Are you
it's
using
probably
the
why.
SPAD Next?
Oh, it just plugs straight into a USB.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean to program it so it sends like you can program and you can like make it do whatever you want within the sim and you can combine it with FSU IPC and stuff.
Didn't know that. Oh right,
No.
okay. I just plugged it in and off I went.
Yeah. Yeah, I also plugged it in and I could probably use it, but like if I use SPAD Next, I can customize it just the way I want. So I can like have it one profile for one airplane, and I can have it a different one button can do one thing if I'm in the Airbus, and it can do something else when I'm in the Boeing 747.
All right. Oh, you'll have to send me the link for that.
Yep.
Oh, that's very
Yep.
interesting. Yes.
So we have the speed coming down to 220, which is probably in accordance with yep. So IPSAR, which is 6.4 nautical miles away, has a speed constraint of 220 knots, and we see the speed is coming down now to 220 knots, so it's adhering to the speed restrictions, which is awesome.
Are we okay on our flight level? Because the
Uh,
constraints flight level 120.
yeah,
Bit high, no?
I've set 550, and it will follow the constraints down all the way
Oh,
to where we should be. So you see we have 220 knots and 120, flight level 120 at IPSAR. We're going to stay at 120 for quite a while actually.
yes, it does look like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Too bad, Boo, anyway.
Okay. Before the action starts, I'm just going to have a quick BO, so I'll be back in 2 minutes.
No problem at all.
You have control.
I have control.
Okay, I'm back.
So welcome back. You have control.
I have control. Thank you. Yeah, okay. So actually this is interesting because the last waypoint also had flight level 120 if I don't remember correctly. Yeah, we're going to Babsu.
Absolutely,
And
yeah, it is.
so this is interesting because I don't know if the airplane is like maybe we descended too slowly or because it didn't go to 120.
We're on 122.
Yeah. So it's coming
So
down now.
we're not that far. We're just turning down.
Yeah.
It's about 200 feet out. So we should be going to 75 now. 075.
Yep. And remember our transition altitude is 70, so no, sorry, 60. So we'll be doing that one a little bit later on. The next one up now will be passing flight level 100. So just be ready for it.
Yes, we have the 10,000 feet checklist on the float. Start doing a 10,000.
Yes, we can do. Okay, so what I'll say is passing flight level 100 for 5,500. And then I'll call the approach checklist.
Then I'll start doing at that point, checking the landing lights, seatbelts, EFIS optional options as required. LS push button.
Yep, the landing system. So I'll set that's the next to the flight director.
Yes, but we're doing that at 10,000, are we?
Yep.
Rad nav check, which we don't have to do we?
Did you set yours?
Set my.
I bet you're not connected. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
You're still connected. Yep, there we go. I see the LS button for you now. And the rad nav is not necessary. Yeah, I agree. So you can start reading the approach checklist when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm just doing the lights.
Yeah.
Okay, so lights on, seatbelts. Seatbelts on. Approach data: FCU, FMA, PFD, and ND.
Yeah. So you so the FCU is the flight control mode. So that's set to 5,500. And it's in manage mode, and the speed is managed, and the heading is managed. So you just see that's okay. And then
Because before we were calling them out, weren't we?
yeah. So speed and speed and heading are managed. 5,500 set with manage mode. The FMA is throttle idle, descent, nav, and blue alt. And the PFD is basically just seeing that is normal, and it is. We have ILS for runway 34 right, is now picking up on the top of the PFD. And the ND, that was the PFD is actually that we have, for example, contact with ILS, and we do. And frequency 111.55 is showing down in the lower left button on the primary flight display. And then the ND looks normal. So that's reviewed and set. And then you can say the same.
Set both.
Yep.
Reviewed and set.
And what do you say now?
We're going on to the next bit, aren't we? Yeah.
No. We just did a checklist, so we say
Checklist complete.
yes.
Checklist complete.
Approach checklist completed.
So confirm for me that the ILS is actually moving up for you.
Indeed. Well, now the glide slope disappeared, but the localizer part of it is still in contact.
It's still in contact, yeah. I was checking that your it hadn't gone, but it has for you as well.
Yeah, we're just moving because that part of it is more sensitive, and you pick it up a little bit closer. We're not supposed to be on the final approach fix until what was it? Olga? No, Odula. Odula. And Odula is 3,500, so I'll set that now. 3,500 set on the FCU.
It's going to be a very dark landing, I think.
A dark one?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What time do you have?
Are you not in the dark?
No, I'm at 1640 UTC. I have a gorgeous sunset. It's absolutely brilliant.
Say 1640. Ah, right, we're out then. I do find some. Oh, that is nice, isn't it? I do find sometimes that it does desync on the times
Yeah.
by half an hour to an hour sometimes.
Hmm. Yeah, and
I've noticed
sometimes
that
when
too.
you select like you want to spawn on the gate, sometimes I end up spawning on the runway, so sometimes it is a little bit finicky.
I have noticed they've updated the before when you did the flight plan. Once you loaded it, you couldn't do a gate, but now it doesn't alter it at all. Now
Yeah.
it doesn't alter the flight plan.
So we have 28 nautical miles until the runway. So we're still a pretty far way out. And we're supposed to be at 4,500 on the next waypoint.
I think we should be on good for that. We're
Yeah.
4.9 at the moment.
Yep.
8 nautical
And
miles out. Roughly.
I see we have we are in approach mode. That's great.
Can you just confirm how you noticed that?
Well, I noticed it because you see that the manage speed mode is now at 200. It's just above the green dot speed on the speed tape. You see the green dot?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, so that's called the flying the green dot speed, and that's basically the clean speed without flaps, and it will only do that when it's either programmed with such a low speed constraint, which is a little bit unusual, or because which is what happens most of the time, that the plane has gone into, or the MCDU has gone into approach mode. You can also see it by simply clicking on the perf page. If we are in approach mode, then approach mode will be the first page that you come to when you click the perf page. For example, if we were in the climb phase, when we click perf, then the page you will come to that at first will be the climb page. But now we're in the approach mode, so when I click it, it will go straight to approach.
Ah, right, that's good information. I didn't know that.
Let's see, I can have flaps 1.
Flaps 1, check it on ECAM as well.
and I'm going to arm the approach. We have captured, we have speed, alt star, blue glide slope, and localizer capture. Cat 3 single, AP1, and auto throttle. Oh, actually, you know what we forgot? We forgot our transition level. Can you set... actually, I'm going to set it now. It is 1026.
I've got a beeping noise. What on earth is that?
I'm not sure. Oh, it went away.
It's gone now. I don't know what that was.
What's your speed?
My speed is 220.
Oh, okay, so you were overspeeding for the flaps. My speed
Came
is
out by
my speed is around 180 or 175 at the moment.
like, so what normally is if you go to they had this yesterday. If you set it to engage, select airspeed, and then back up, it normally resolves it.
Okay. I have it set to 176 now.
I got it at 167. At 177, it shows for me.
Speed. Okay, so 177 now
Yeah,
on the
confirm.
FCU. And I'm gonna engage. What is your actual speed at the moment? Are you at 177?
No, I'm 220.
Are you coming down?
It's stuck on it. It ain't going nowhere.
Okay, so I'm gonna engage it again.
Altitude is stuck at 3,500.
Yeah, that's our. Yep, that's fine. Could you set the standard backup, or the backup altimeter to 1026?
Do it now. Set to 1026.
Thank you. And then okay, and then you can say 1026 set and cross-checked.
1026. Set and cross-checked.
Flaps 2.
Flaps 2. And confirm on ECAM.
We have glide slope capture. Green speed, green glide slope, and green lock. Okay, I'm going to disengage the autopilot and hand fly.
Confirm.
Oh, and I hear your
Yep.
yeah,
I'm
your
set
bell
at
is going on again. Yeah.
Still all green though. No blues. My altitude is 2005.
Yeah. And your speed?
170.
Your speed is 170?
Yep.
But why do you have that horn?
I have no idea what it is.
Hmm.
I've got no lights. I've got nothing telling me there's something wrong.
What's your flap setting?
On the second one. We're second.
Yep.
2 flaps.
Yep. That's correct.
So that's correct. Yeah.
Yep. Can have flaps 3.
Flaps 3. Yep. Flaps 3 set. Speed okay. Check ECAM. Landing gear.
Yep. We can have gear down and flaps full.
Flaps full.
Landing checklist.
Auto throttle.
Speed.
Speed. Hang on. Auto throttle. ECAM memo.
Yeah, the cabin. So you just click the button for the cabin, and then you need to arm the spoilers.
in the cabin.
Cabin crew seats for landing, please. Then you call out landing ECAM MO, all green, no blue.
And an ECAM, all green, no, all green, no blue.
All green, no blue.
We didn't need it, it's not required.
Check. So is that landing checklist complete?
Landing checklist complete.
Check. We're a little bit low here. I'm gonna see if I can get her up a little bit. So strange we have that noise. I don't have no idea what it is.
Yeah, can you?
Yep. Is it very loud on your end?
It is a bit, just a tad.
Yeah.
Minimum 400.
Yep. Minimums. Continue.
Yeah. Continue. I was supposed to call the minimums then, wasn't I?
Yeah, no problem. It's a lot to keep a track on. And then you can select the flight control page, or actually we'll see. Just see if it comes on by itself, and you call reverse green and spoilers deployed.
100.
If you can't see the spoilers, you go to the flight control page and you will see it there.
30. 20.
Yeah, just make sure they're engaged, yes?
Retard.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, it actually.
Boiler, all green.
And then if you look on N1, you will see the reversers, and then you will see reverse green. Do you see it?
Reverse green, yes.
Yeah. Manual braking.
So it's got thrust reverse 70, call 70.
Yep, that's at 70 knots. It's just to because you can't use reversers beyond 60 knots, and 70 knots is the safety margin.
That's the safety zone, right? Okay. And we're clear of the runway, so landing lights are going off.
Yep. We can do cleanup.
Flaps up. Spoilers down. Strobes to auto. Do I call lead?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine. What you're doing is perfect.
WX radar off.
Yeah, that's the weather radar, but we didn't use it, so it's
Okay.
yeah.
Predicted wind shear going off.
Oh, I thought landing lights were supposed to be off on the first one.
Yeah, they were, yeah. Or are they not going off for you? I'll do it again.
Let me have a look here, because it says landing lights on my ECAM. Yeah, they're still on full. Are they still on for? They're off for you?
No, I'm going to knock them back up and on off again. Because this is a 3 switch anyway, so I know
Yeah.
you've got a...
No, they're still showing full on.
Yeah, I'm having trouble clicking on it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I have set them to off now.
They're on retract for me, but that'll do.
Yeah. Yeah, continue.
Flaps retracted. Engine mode select norm. Confirm. TCAS mode as required. We're not using that at the moment. Transponder. APU start. Anti-ice is required. We don't need brake temperature.
I will just select the APU as well, since I notice it's not transmitting. So I'll just do that as well. Yep, continue.
Brake temperature, so I'm just going to the console on ECAM. And all green.
Cool.
Brake check all green.
Yeah, we just did a low auto brake setting, so that should be really good.
And we're not doing another check yet because we're not approaching the gate yet.
No. What I see I didn't have in here is that we can actually disengage the flight director and the landing system on both sides, and you can do that.
Yeah.
And
confirm.
also disengage the approach mode.
That's confirmed.
Yep. It's a little bit weird, this airport, but I think we're coming to... Yeah, I see the tower over there.
Just changing the bottom E cam to the APU just to make sure. We've got to check that out in a minute.
Yep, I see. For me, we have APU available.
Yeah, confirm.
Check. Yeah, we can have the turn off lights off.
Yeah, just doing the taxi lights now. Taxi lights, I presume you're on about, yeah?
Yes, but well, the taxi lights can come on, but or are on, but the runway turn off lights, we can turn them off.
They're off.
Thank you.
They're not in the checklist, mind you, but...
No,
I'll see.
because they are an optional thing. So I'll just the pilot flying will just call for them as he needs them. But Tolstoy he explained to me that like you wouldn't necessarily use them, especially if you're meeting planes ahead or something, because it will blind them.
True, yes, good point.
Yeah. Ooh, I see the sun is setting just on the horizon over there.
Just took some shots of it now.
They have the runway far away from the parking spots over here.
Yes, they do, don't they?
Although we are cargo, so I guess we can actually. I'm gonna take a. I think actually we can do it right over here. No, I'll do this one.
Taxi lights should be off now.
Yep. Went a little bit too far, or I changed my mind in the last moment. Yep, approaching the gate.
And always make sure your landing lights are off. You want to go blind in them.
No. Okay, parking checklist.
Parking checklist. So APU bleed, it should be on.
Yep.
Just changing view.
I will set mine to on because it wasn't. Confirm that you have APU on and APU bleed on.
APU is on and APU bleed
It's
is
on now.
now.
Yep, yep. I'll shut down the engines. And whoop, yeah, we have the wonderful menu coming up. Releasing the passengers, and beacon can come off. We can compare the fuel on board. I have 4,360.
4,360 confirmed.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah, I should actually haven't called parking checklist right away, but I'll call for parking checklist now, and then you can do
Yeah,
your
I just
flows.
want to check on something on the flow before we do the parking checklist.
Yeah, cool.
Slides disarmed. Slides.
Yeah, you go to the door page.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's confirmed. The chrono is going to be stopped.
Yep. 57 minutes or 58 minutes.
Sorry, I restarted it again then. Fuel pumps off.
Yep. So you go ahead and click them.
Transponder we haven't used anyway, and compare fuel on board we've already done. So parking checklist, radar and PWS. I mean, you can all
They
read off.
are, yeah, I will read now. I will set it to off.
Engines,
Are off.
seat belts,
Are off.
brake temp,
Let me see. Are checked and normal.
external lights,
As required.
and fuel pumps.
Are off.
This, others,
They can stay in the nav.
brake and shocks.
Yeah, we have parking brakes set. Yep.
Complete.
Parking checklist complete. Thank you. Okay, well, we did it.
That wasn't that.
That was a full flight A to B with a simplified, comprehensive checklist. What do you think about it?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I know a little bit, but what I'm trying to do is, where I think people are going to go, well, what the hell is that? And then point out to you that they may not, like just beginners who are just doing it on their first or second session may not know what's the terminology but even I forgot where some things are. I mean,
Yep.
the chronic told me twice. I'm the backup altimeter you've told me, and I still forgot about it.
Yeah, but that's just a couple of times now, and you're gonna like a couple of training sessions, doing it a couple of times, you're gonna remember it. Like the reason I feel comfortable with this now is, of course, I've been sitting for hours and hours studying this thing, so that's the only reason. Like I never used to go into the system page and check for anything before.
I've been practicing with the MCDU anyway, so I'm not too bad with that. I know where quite a bit of that is.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I completely forgot where the backup altimeter and everything was. And the chrono just didn't sink in for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, here we are in lovely Rome. The sun is setting. The sun is like peach and purple. It's lovely. And I think you and I, Yoda, are gonna go out for a beer in downtown Rome. What do you say?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yep. Okay, everyone, thank you for watching, and have fun flying the shared cockpit. If it's anything, just reach out to us and we'll help you get going. See you in the next flight. Bye.
See you, everyone.